This episode of The Third Sector is being made possible through the support of Morrison Reeves Library, digitally open to you 24 hours a day. Also available, computer use by appointment only, and curbside pickup of library materials, grab-and-go kits, and tax forms. Get more details at mrlinfo.org. And by the Richmond Art Museum. Mark your calendar for June 27th and 28th to enjoy the annual Secret Garden Tour. Take in beautiful local gardens and be sure to check out the Garden Boutique featuring unique ironwork for your garden landscaping needs. For more information, visit richmondartmuseum.org.
And welcome to the quarantine version of the third sector. In our society, there are three sectors: the public, the private, and the nonprofit. And it's that third sector, the nonprofits, that we're going to talk about today. Jane very nicely pointed out that there's a reflection in my glasses, and unfortunately it's my computer screen, so there's not too much I can do about it. But we're trying to make the best of this in our uncertain times. My first guest, one of my favorite people in the community, is Jane Holman, and she's going to talk with us today about Waynet and all the exciting things that are going on at Waynet. So I will let you introduce yourself, Jane, and let's start with telling people, what is Waynet in the first place?
Well, thank you for having me on, Rachel. I appreciate it. And I hope people know about Waynet. We've been doing what we do for 22 years, but I find that a lot of people have never heard of us. Some people use us every week, and other people have never heard of us. So basically, Waynet is a website for and about Richmond and Wayne County. And on there, we just offer quick information, ways to reach the information you might need. So yes, there is Google, but that doesn't always take you directly to what you most need for the local community. So hopefully we've organized things in an easy manner so you can find links to all sorts of things you may not know you needed. Area news sources. We have a huge community calendar. Normally it's huge, not so much on there right now.
Probably a little sparse right now, isn't it?
It's a little sparse, but it'll come back. We'll all be back. So, and we are a not-for-profit. And we are supported by memberships. So that's how we support the organization.
And when did Waynet get started in our community?
We've been doing what we do since 1997.
Wow.
And yeah, it'll be 23 years in August. Wow. And we started pre-Google. So if you can imagine that, I think there are probably a lot of people that can't imagine the world without Google. So,
yeah, and forgive me if you just said that, because I'm trying to navigate some buttons here, so I am a little distracted. If you just said that, sorry. That's a long time.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's been fun because Richmond, Wayne County, I grew up here, moved away, found out how wonderful it is, came back, raised my family here, and it's a great thing to be able to share our community with the world.
Yes, and you do a wonderful job of that.
Well, thank you.
So before we get into all the exciting things that you do, how is Waynet governed? Do you have a board? Is it just you? What's going on over there?
We have a board. I think we currently have 8 people. We can have up to 12, but we currently are filled up with 8. So if anybody's interested in being on the board, let me know. You do have to be a member of Waynet to be on the board. And I am the executive director and the only employee. I'm half-time. And that's it.
And are those people just from Wayne County, or is it a larger area?
Anyone that is a member can be considered for the board.
Okay. So it could be from Union County or even farther away.
Yes, but they do have to be a member of Waynet.
Yes. Okay. Super. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get into some of the fun stuff. What exactly is Waynet? We know some of the things that you do, but expand on some of that for us. What are all the exciting things going on at Waynet?
Well, let's see.
Stumped her.
I was trying to decide where to start. We do so much. Basically, in a nutshell, what we do is create the website. And so I encourage people to come see the website. So we have lots of different things on the website. Currently, things people might be interested in there are obviously links to anything they might need for the COVID-19, both local, state, and federal. You can find that tons of places, but hopefully we've narrowed it down for those that are just interested in people from Wayne County, what you might need on a quick and easy basis.
What might some of those resources look like? Are they like testing sites or?
We've linked to all the health information that READ is offering. We've linked to test anywhere that you can find the testing sites. Basic CDC and World Health Organization sites for a wider view. We start local and we work wider. And we do check our sources. So, if you do Google it, you can find a wealth of information that may or may not be accurate.
There's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah. So we're very careful about our sources and making sure that we get you to the right place for the right people so that you can trust the information. Other things people might be interested in is any unemployment information. We have a whole page of our members. We link directly to our members' job resource pages. But in addition to that information, there's all sorts of other job information, job hunting, how to write a resume, just anything basic if you're looking for a job. So
you're really cutting edge. What is happening right now? Breaking news. You're the spot to go to.
Well, we do have some news. If your organization has a press release, we're happy to publish the press release for you. If you have a calendar item, if you're news, we direct you to the news organization because it's just me.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's happening, you've got the resources for us.
We certainly try.
Yes.
We certainly try.
I interrupted you. Please go ahead.
Oh, I was just trying to think what else people might be interested in right now. The news releases is one, obviously. I think our local news source right now is not taking club information. So if your club has a release and you would like to get the information out there, we're happy to publish that as well. We don't promise it'll be today because again, it's just me working part-time. So we do it as soon as we can, but it is out there. And so people can keep up with that information and it is archived. So you can go back several months and check and see what it is. Some of the things that others might find useful is we link to area obituaries. We don't publish the obituaries, but sometimes people want to know who it is and they don't know where to search for it. We have a page that links you directly into those obituaries that are published by other people. Government links. So if you want to find your local government, if you want to find your state government representatives, if you want to find your federal government representatives, again, we get you to the people who represent Wayne County. So you don't have to search completely through everything.
Those are very helpful links because, like you said, the local papers sometimes don't carry this information right now. And it's nice to know that we have a source that is providing a one-stop place where we can find that.
We certainly try. And for fun things to do, we have a whole section on recreation. So if you're normally used to being active with your on the basketball court and you can't do that because of the social distancing now, we have links to get you to area fishing information and biking information and hiking information, all sorts of places you can go. And there's so much around here that you can do even with the current restrictions. So if you're not sure where to start, visit Waynet.
Well, those are all super things. And I have to admit, I learned a few things that I didn't realize that you were providing even. Most of the times I think of you for the calendar. I go there to find out what's going on, especially if I'm planning an event. I don't want to have it on the same day or time. You know, I want to make sure that we're being conscious of other things going on in the community. But there's so much going on over there at Waynet for a person working part-time. That's amazing, Jane.
Well, we try, and on the calendar, I did want to make sure that everybody knows if you go to the calendar, you can just click the add event link and add the event directly all by yourself. If there's a change down the road, you do need to email me. The software is not set up to make the change, unfortunately. So
that does make it easy for people to add their events. And I think that's a great new feature that you've added. I know it's been there a little while, but recently came to my attention that we can add our own events, and that makes it so much nicer. And I'm sure easier for you too to keep up with everything. Well,
and it gets the events out there right away. And I'm glad that you're checking for other people's events so they're not overlapping. And I think that's an important benefit of the calendar for the community.
Well, until the quarantine happened, there was so much going on in our community. And you just have to be conscious of that. And I always counted on your calendar to be able to see where things are going on and when. So
yeah. And one of the things I like about our calendar is that not only do we include events, which are the fun things going on, but we include things that help you be a better citizen. We include government meetings, library classes, a wide variety of things that the Tourism Bureau does a great job too, but it's more for just public events that are going on, not necessarily the government citizen-focused issues. So we try to cover all bases.
Yeah, you're doing a great job too. So you talked about membership and how that supports the work that you're doing. If there are folks out there thinking, this is awesome, I want to be part of this, tell us how do we become a member of Waynet?
It's very easy. All you do is go to the website. It's waynet.org, waynet.org. And up at the top, you click about Waynet. And there's a join. There's an application. You click there, or you can give me a call and I'll walk you through the whole process.
You're so good at that. You're always so helpful. Well, Jane, we've got about 2 minutes left. So before we wrap it up, what do folks out there need to know about Waynet that we haven't covered? Is there anything that we haven't covered?
Well, you just need to come visit the Waynet website. You need to come weekly because we have pictures we feature weekly on the website, and those are updated. Try to get them updated on Monday. There's a featured section, so if there's something special going on, like last week, I know the local clerk, the election board was looking for people to help with polls and the elections, so we featured that to help let people know what's going on and who to call to participate. So that's one other way to just kind of at a quick glance to look and find out what's going on in the community. If you visit our social media, we're on Flickr, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, and we're on Pinterest. Flickr, we have stored over 17,000 pictures. So if you
my goodness,
take a look at the community and remember the fun times, and if you need something for your organization to feature on your website or your brochure that you're making or publication or whatever, you're welcome to call me and see if it's something that can be used. We do charge a small fee, but there's a lot of choices.
Yes, and I'm very fortunate that you have allowed us to use some of those photographs, and I agree the fee is very reasonable, and it supports the work that you're doing. So.
It does.
Beautiful photography too.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Well, Jane, I hate to say this, but we are out of time. The time always goes so fast when I'm speaking with my guests. So I want to thank you for being with us today and telling us about Waynet. Like you said, it's been around a long time, but I'm surprised at how many people just don't understand the resources that you have and what a valuable asset this is to our community. So thank you for being with us today, and we really appreciate what you do for the community.
Thank you, Rachel. It's appreciate you being on and being featured.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll be right back with more of the Third Sector. Welcome back to the third sector. My guest now is Joni Wells from Safety Village. Welcome, Joni.
Hello.
Hi. Well, tell us, what in the world is Safety Village? I know there are people out there that probably never heard of it, except maybe trick-or-treating and Halloween, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So much more.
Basically, it's just it's an area that we have for children to come and learn safety in all different areas of like bicycle safety, crossing the sidewalks, things like that. And it has buildings from businesses around town. If they want to sponsor a building, then it looks just like that building.
So it really is a village. It's just a little tiny village.
Yeah, little town.
Child size.
Yeah.
Give us some background on Safety Village. How did it get started?
Well, they started kind of the same type of program back in the 80s, a police department. And it was just basically teaching them the safety as far as crossing sidewalks and bus safety stuff. But then in 2003, the Richmond Kiwanis Club had got together with local businesses, and they coordinated getting these buildings started. And we get a area of land on the state hospital grounds, and that's where our town is at, the little village. So they just I think we only have 4 that are open right now, 4 spots. So we do pretty good. We have a lot and it has streets and sidewalks and all kinds of places.
So when you say 4 spots, tell us more about that.
That's just areas that are still open. If a business wants to come in, we charge a certain amount, and then they pay it's like a lot rent, basically, which helps fund our program.
Okay. So they can kind of claim a building, if you will, and make it look like their business, put their name on it. And then when folks come to the village, they see that they're representing that and supporting the program.
Yes.
Okay.
Call it a bit of an advertisement too, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So how long maybe you said this already, how long has Safety Village been around?
The actual village started in 2003 when they started constructing the buildings. And then we got safety camp kind of started in 2007.
Okay. Tell us more about safety camp.
That's a fun time for us. It's a week long. They either do a morning or an afternoon class, and it's 3 hours. And they're taught different things. We have volunteers, 2 teachers, volunteers from the police department and the sheriff's department and the fire department that come and help as well and teach about fire safety, bicycle safety, water safety, camping, trains, buses. There's so many things, and they go in groups and they get to learn about all the different things. And then at the end of the week, we have a program that they put on for the parents, and if they have a graduation.
So this is a week-long program, if I remember right, and they'll either come all morning or all afternoon, basically.
3 hours in the morning or 3 hours in the afternoon.
I'm a member of the Kiwanis Club, and it's been a little while since I volunteered, so I'm trying to remember exactly how the program works.
Right.
And remind us, what age group are these kids?
We do going into kindergarten first and second.
So it's the little bitties.
Yes. The whole thing is and they can come every year. If they start in the kindergarten, they can come each year up until they age out. So they could technically do it 3 years and still, so our thing is repetition. So they see this, they continue to do it, then hopefully if a bad situation like that happens, like a fire or something, they can remember what they were taught.
Yes. And I remember you talk a lot about like crossing the street safely, because the village has crosswalks and sidewalks and, street lights is what I'm trying to come up with, and how to do that safely when you're on your own or even with a parent, and teaching that to them, getting off the school bus, talking about how you do that safely. And
at the end of the week on Friday, we take them on a school bus and we take them over to Westview and walk around and just do a crossing the streets. There's not a lot of traffic there, so we don't have to worry about it too much, but yet some do come through. So it gives them the idea of what real stuff looks like. So they enjoy that.
Yes. And while some of them may not even ride the bus, that crossing the street is so important for the kids that live in town. Especially at that age, they just want to dart. They don't think about the dangers.
Right. And we'll do a classroom version of the cross streets and all of that, and then we take them out to the town and we do that. And then if they're on the bicycle safety part, we have go-karts that they ride.
I bet they like that.
Oh, yes. Yes, they do.
Fun day. You also have the firehouse out there. Tell us about the smokehouse. I forget what you call it.
Smokehouse. Yeah. So that is, again, they watch a video. He goes through the stuff about what they're doing, what to do in a situation like that. And then they have a bedroom. It's set up like a little bedroom, and they all get to practice being on the bed with smoke alarm going off, that they get down to the ground, crawl out, yell out the window, or check the door for fire. If the fire's cool, then the outside where the stairwell is, it's on a system that puts smoke out, and they have flashing lights, so it gets them used to that, so that may not scare them so bad in a bad situation if that were to ever come up. So they teach them how to get down the stairs and go meet at your meeting place that you set up with your parents.
And that is actually taught by firemen, isn't it?
Yes.
So they get that sensory, that feel, that what it's actually like to experience that smoke and the fire, and the excitement of that, and talk with a fireman that might be waiting outside or on their way. Right. What a valuable experience for those children.
Yeah. And a lot of them do get a little nervous, and we do have a few, like the smaller ones, usually they might cry, but it gets them used to that. And then they'll have the guys in their gear showing them, this is what we're going to look like. This is, they crawl around on the ground with them. This is what it's going to sound like when we're breathing through the mask. So they aren't scared of that when that situation occurs.
That's so important. My brother is a first responder and a volunteer fireman, and he goes to schools, and he learned early on, you can't go in dressed in your gear. You have to dress in front of them, or they're terrified, because first, you're much bigger than them.
Yes.
Put on all this equipment, it's terrifying for the little ones.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly what we do. They wait. Here I am. I'm a normal person. Here I go. This is what I'm going to look like. And it does very well.
Yes. So what else goes on at Safety Village? I think
besides Safety Camp, that's usually runs 2 weeks depending on how many people we have. And then in October, we start fire safety and fire prevention. So it's basically the same program, just a little bit more to it, teaching about how to dial 911 and, kind of going through every step, if something happens. So we do that. We used to only have to do October, but we've expanded out to not just the city schools. We've expanded out to Centerville, Cambridge City, Hagerstown. We've had some from Ohio participate. So we go and then Head Start also. So we start usually the last week of September, and we run into December now because we have so many classes.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. We like that.
Yes. Do you still have groups of school children that come to the village, or has that?
It's usually the schools that don't come for the fire safety. We have an Amish school that comes from Ohio. They come every year. They bring theirs. We have in Cambridge City, the Goalie Center, their preschool program. They come every year. We've reached out further. We went out to Union County and Fayette County and invited them to come as well. So, anybody that wants to take a tour, we'll give them one or put them on a program.
Yeah, and it's very valuable programming. So this isn't free. How is Safety Village supported, other than the support you're getting from the sponsors that have the buildings in the village?
Kiwanis. They're our biggest sponsor. Absolutely. We appreciate them greatly.
And if there are people in the community that are thinking, wow, this is a great program, do you accept donations from the community?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
And how can they make a donation to Safety Village?
There's on our website, they can go on there and it has the address. It's a PO box and they can send it that way, or they can call the number. My number's on there as well, and leave a message and I'll come pick it up if they need me to.
Awesome. Give us that website.
It's safetyvillagewaynecounty.org.
Okay, safetyvillagewaynecounty.org.
Yes, ma'am. And we also have a Facebook page, and that's Safety Village of Wayne County.
Okay. And do you feel like you're going to have safety camp this year? Are you still making that decision?
We have a meeting next Thursday, and I'm sure that's going to be a hot topic, trying to figure out if that's something that we can do. The way we advertise for safety camp is usually at kindergarten, the kindergarten roundup. Obviously we didn't have that, and we go into the schools around when they're doing their spring programs, so we didn't get to have any of that. So I'm not sure if we can get the word out well enough to be able to see. We've had a few people that have left messages on Facebook asking, so I know it's probably repeat people. So I don't know. We'll make that decision, I'm hoping, this next week.
And when you make that decision, how will that be pushed out to the public? Will that be on Facebook?
It'll go Facebook, it'll go on our website, and then we'll have an ad in the Palladium as well. And I think we have radio spots too.
Okay, super. Well, Joni, I want to thank you for being my guest today. There's so much going on at Safety Village that I know folks probably had no idea was going on over there. And, I have a soft spot for kids, and we just really appreciate what you're doing over there and all the safety measures that you're instilling in our kids. So thank you for that. And thank you for being my guest today.
Well, thank you for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. And good luck in this very unusual year.
Right. Thank you.
And thank you for being our guest today on The Third Sector.
This episode of The Third Sector has been made possible through the support of Morrison Reeves Library, digitally open to you 24 hours a day. Also available, computer use by appointment only, and curbside pickup of library materials, grab-and-go kits, and tax forms. Get more details at mrlinfo.org. And by the Richmond Art Museum. Mark your calendar for June 27th and 28th to enjoy the annual Secret Garden Tour. Take in beautiful local gardens, and be sure to check out the Garden Boutique, featuring unique ironwork for your garden landscaping needs. For more information, visit richmondartmuseum.org.